Well, good afternoon, everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. Do appreciate you guys tuning in with me today. Welcome to yet another Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream. Hope everyone is doing well. Do appreciate you guys' patience with me over the last few days. Do apologize for the lack of streams over the last few days. Just taking some time to rest. And unfortunately, my taking of time of rest has not played any virtue. I'm unfortunately a little bit under the weather today, so please do bear with me today. I think I caught a little bit of what my roommate has. A little bit of nausea, a little bit of a headache I've been dealing with since I got home from work this morning. But we are here, and we have got a treat for you guys today. JJ Stevens, my man, coming in with a $5 donation, says, let's climb aboard the Blue Skies. Mike, I appreciate you, JJ. Thank you, thank you. Massive W's in the chat for you. The $5 a donation, man. Generous support of you. I really do appreciate you, man. When are you not sick? Well, Fiber, it comes with the nature of working a graveyard schedule, man. There's been professional studies done that have proven people that work on a nighttime schedule have a tendency to get a little bit sicker than usual on a relatively more frequent basis. And I don't want to say that I'm sick. I just think I have a little bit of a bug. That's really about it. So I am unfortunately not going to be going into work tonight. I have taken the night off of work. I'm going to do my best to get through this stream. We're going to be flying this amazing aircraft, man, the CSS 737 Classic, more so the 737-500 in the Scandinavian colors. As of right now, unfortunately, the Scandinavian livery is the only livery available. I really, really wanted to do some Southwest flying with this airplane, but unfortunately, we do not have a Southwest airline livery just yet. So we're going to work with what we got. We're going to be taking this aircraft from Copenhagen over to Brussels. We're looking at about an hour and 18 minutes in the air en route to Brussels today. And we will be getting through. We're going to be Scandinavian flight 57 Bravo with service over to Brussels. Unfortunately, we are flying in Europe, and at this time, currently, there is no ATC online. So it is what it is, man, but we're going to work with it, and we're going to get on over to Brussels, an airport I have not flown into in a very long time. So looking forward to this flight, man. So if you guys would like to fly along with me today, please feel free to do so. But yeah, thanks to the generosity of CSS providing me with a pre-release copy of the airplane. Messed around with the airplane a little bit today when I got home from work, just getting things set up, kind of getting comfortable with the systems because it is an older aircraft. There are a couple of different things that you have to do to get this aircraft to fly and be airworthy. Like the pressurization panel is not auto. You do have to flip a switch and set it to flight in order for the aircraft to actually pressurize on your climb out. You know, just kind of getting used to the EFB and all the extra quirks that they've added. There's a lot of things that are simulated that we're going to have to use today, i.e. anti-ice, so on and so forth. So, yeah, should be a good day, man. I'm really looking forward to it. Let's go and get chat. We got Matthew O, Captain Zemp is here. CPH is here. Harlem, Minnesota sports fan. Spike Flies, Dewan, my guy. Hope you're doing well. Hazar is here. Off Fear. We got Microsoft Nerd. What's going on? Aviation Gaming is here. Fiber, my man. Nuclear Waster, my man. Appreciate you stopping in. Welcome, welcome. We got Harlem. Sean is here. I'm a tester, so let me know if you got any questions. I got you, Sean. Thank you so much for joining in. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you being here. Defender 721. Clearly you missed Owl's stream. Good thing you got this for free. This is a literal flying garbage can. Well, I will be the I will make the opinion on that. We shall see. As of right now, I don't see anything wrong with the airplane. And CSS is aware of some issues that I am now aware of that they are working on, hence why they have delayed the release of the aircraft. So everyone's entitled to an opinion, but let's be respectful. And if we have if you have a difference of opinion other than mine, let's keep our words respectful, please. Captain Crystal, what's going on? Adeliz, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. Just see Allegiance Altitude Cadet Program started accepting the applications. I did not, Adeliz. That's interesting. WestJet 1450, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you stopping in. Welcome, welcome. Jacob Jamerson, get you some hot tea and 2 spoons of honey, make you feel much better. Yeah, I'm thinking about it, JJ. Right now, I'm probably shouldn't be, but I'm sipping on a little bit of a Red Bull drink from Jack in the Box. So just getting a little bit of caffeine in me because I have not been able to sleep today at all. Hammy, what's going on? Caleb Hammond, hope you're doing well. Appreciate you stopping in. Welcome, welcome. I have heard nothing good on this plane. Well, let's see if we can change that today. I am very optimistic. Again, it is a new company. Well, they've been around for a while, but new to Microsoft. So let's give them a chance, just like we give a chance to everybody. We have to remain optimistic and allow companies to work out the quirks of their aircraft. Again, this is technology, guys. This is software development at its finest when it comes to developing an aircraft for the simulator. So please be respectful, okay? And Defender 721, again, with all due respect, I'm going to say it one more time. Be respectful in my chat, or I'm just going to time you out for the stream. That's just, and you can say sometimes the truth hurts. I get that, but developers are in the chat, and I would much rather have them listen to constructive criticism than a hot garbage can comment. That's a bit excessive in my personal opinion. So again, let's just be respectful, okay? I will do my best to get through this stream and give you guys my personal opinions on the aircraft, and I will be working closely with the devs to let them know the issues that I come across, if I do come across any of them, and if they are not aware of them, and then we will go from there. But again, saying hot garbage can about someone else's work is not a respectful comment. You can be optimistic and you can be constructive. That's fine, but let's just not be rude. Yeah, Matt, definitely. Element, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you stopping and welcome. Yeah, Element, they make these Red Bull infused drinks, right? So this is called the Pink Pineapple Express. No, not the Pineapple Express like the movie. It doesn't have any, feel-good stuff in it. But it's got the white peach Red Bull that just released with their summer edition, along with some pineapple flavors and stuff like that. It's very, very good. Is this aircraft study level? I don't use the term study level, Atlas. I think the term study level is very much too widely used around the simulation. Would I say high fidelity? We will come to that opinion once we land into Brussels. I will let you know. Travis, appreciate you, man. Thank you. We can have free speech, though. I will push for that right if I had to. Well, okay, again, guys. I'm not sitting here saying that you guys are not allowed to have an opinion. You guys can have an opinion. What I'm saying is keep your words respectful. Has nothing to do with free speech. Has something to do with being respectful. Like, think of my channel, right? This is a YouTube channel that I have created, that I've kind of done my best to get to where it is today. Okay, think of that like it is private property, if you would, right? So if you go to somewhere such as Walmart or a hotel or a casino or something like that, and you do not do what the representatives of that establishment are asking you to do in reference to being respectful and not causing issues, then they have the right to refuse service to you. Okay, that's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to have people in the chat being rude about something that is brand new that might need to have some work done to it to get it to the level that we expect it to be. Okay, so again, I'm not saying you cannot have an opinion. What I'm saying is, if you're going to have an opinion, be constructive about it and not rude about it. Okay, there's a difference. There's a difference between expressing your freedom to speech and just being respectful while still using your right to free speech. That is an asinine comment, with all due respect, Caleb. So we're all adults in this chat for the most part, so let's just use common sense when it comes to that, okay? This is a pretty rocky start to the stream, to be quite honest with you guys. You guys can have your opinions, but again, just be respectful about it. If you're not going to do anything to make the product better, then with all due respect, you got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. That is what I'm saying. So anyways, guys, let's go ahead and hop inside the aircraft. Unfortunately, guys, I will let you know the one thing that I will give big constructive criticism to about CSS is they definitely need to edit some stuff about making wing views for this aircraft, because making wing views in this aircraft is impossible without having to go into the camera config file and making some changes, which I tried to do, but unfortunately I was unsuccessful and I needed the stream to get started. So unfortunately for this stream today, guys, we will not have wing views, but we will just be flying around the external of the aircraft. We'll kind of just do external views for the majority of the flight. But so we will not have any wing views because I cannot get a wing view set up to save my life. So CSS, that is constructive criticism. Thought number one, please do some edits within the cabin and the borders of the cabin so we can get a little bit closer to the windows and make it a little bit easier for us to get to the exterior of the aircraft so we can set up our wing views appropriately. That is my first constructive criticism of the aircraft. Funny enough, I'm flying your opposite route, Brussels, Copenhagen. I'm descending past 10,000 right now. If you can find the time to watch my landing. I got you, Microsoft Nerd. We shall see, my friend. We shall see. Put you in the game on that, and Mike, I can put you in the game on that, and you can do it right now. What do you mean, JJ? What do you mean? I can't do it in the game because it's you don't have the option to do it through the camera views, because when you go to pilot, the only view you have is this one right here. So I know how to do it in the game. Most of the other products have the ability to do that. However, this aircraft does not allow me to do that, where I can just go all the way to the right side of the cockpit, hit first officer, and it send me to the outside of the aircraft. I'm not able to do that in this airplane. Had a stroke reading that last chat. I did. Just warning you, we have really bad weather, dense and rainy under 10K. All good. Sit in the cockpit, slide all the way to the right, open camera, select co-pilot. Yeah, JJ, that's what I was just talking about. I have no ability of doing that in this aircraft, unfortunately. Okay, guys, enough talking. I've been talking for almost 15 minutes already. Let's go and get things set and ready to go and get on our way down to Brussels. So, I want to get some music started up for you guys as well. Let's go ahead and do that, shall we? Instrumentals, blah, 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 blah. Okay, sweet. Get some music started in the background. Go back out to what you just saved and move around where you want. Well, yeah, JJ, again, I can't do what you're telling me to do. No. So, I know that trick. You go all the way to the right side, open up camera, go to pilot, and select co-pilot, but the only option is pilot. If I do that, that's just going to send me up like this. So, unfortunately, we just do not have that ability right now. Definitely looking forward to using this plane, some BBJ corporate routes. I don't really see myself flying commercial with it. Yeah, it's just an old school airplane. It's like the MD-80, man. All right, so let's go and head over to the tablet, guys. We're going to go and head over to ground ops. Chocks are set. Let's go and get the GPU connected to the airplane. Yeah, Sean, I would 100% add a co-pilot view if you guys have the ability to do so. So that would be the easiest ability for people to be able to set their camera views, or extend the border of the cabin so that they can get closer to the windows, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So if you're like me and you like gorgeous wing views on your departures and stuff like that, when I come out to the cabin and I try and get the wing view set up, what I try and do my best is to get as close to the window as possible, but with the borders that they have right here within the cabin of the airplane, it is making it incredibly impossible. And about this is the best I can get when it comes to a wing view, right? So, and this to the eye just does not look the best in my personal opinion. So I would ask to see if they can add a co-pilot thing under this, under the camera views. If not, you know, we can go from there, you know. Talk with the devs about seeing if that's possible. Gotcha, Sean. Captain Pearl Jam, my man, coming to the subscription. Appreciate you. And I saw someone else subscribed earlier. I do apologize. I missed your name. Thank you guys for subscribing to the channel. Welcome. W's in the chat for you, man. Well, just like you won't complain. Yeah, right. All right, guys, let's go and head up to the overhead here. Battery over to the on position. Let's go and close the guard. Let's go and get the emergency exit lights over to the armed position and close the guard as well. And let's go and establish ground power to the airplane. All right. Now, before anything else, let me go and open up the aircraft documents. So, features and user manual for the EFB. Want to have that open just in case. All right, so let's go and head upstairs. IRS is over to the nav position. Lovely. Let's go and start with our flows really quickly on the overhead. This is all good. Left aft fuel pump can come online for the APU. Galley power is coming online. Lovely. Let's go ahead and get our panel brightness up just a bit. Okay, awesome. No smoking can go to the on position. Fasten seatbelt sign can stay off, as we do not have fuel on board the aircraft right now. Lovely. Window heats can come online. Probes are staying off. Anti-ice can stay off. Elecs are just fine. That is looking good. Isolation valve can go to the auto position. Let's go and set our pressurization panel, shall we? Initial altitude is going to be 36,000 feet today. Going all the way up to 36,000 feet on today's flight. Lovely. And our landing altitude into Brussels. Let me go and get my charts set up really quickly. Why is the cockpit so different compared to the 737-800? Harlem, it's an older airplane, so this was the old 737 cockpit layout before they updated it to the NG. So Brussels, airport information, landing altitude, airport elevation is 175 feet. So I guess we will just keep that at 0. Okay, that's fine. We're going to keep it on ground. Once we get ready for taxi, guys, once we get taxiing out, we'll switch this over to flight. Lovely. Let's go get the nav lights online. Let's go and get our screens turned up. Old school plane today, man. Literally hate that buzzing noise from the screens. No cap. Okay, well, I didn't think you were cappy to begin with. But again, older airplane, older avionics. This was a very true to life thing in the older airplanes, the buzz of the avionics and the Euro systems or gyro systems of the aircraft. Let's go and get this aligned really quickly here. Okay, awesome. Let's also go ahead and get this panel light up just as well. And let's go ahead and head over and get this panel light up as well. So, okay, awesome. Cockpit is fully lit up and all that kind of good stuff. So let's go and head over to the pause init page of the FMC. We are on the ground in Copenhagen, reference airport. We're going to throw it in there, grab its position, throw that into the IRS position. Perfect. Head over to the route. We're going to throw EKCH into the origin. Our destination is Brussels, Echo, Bravo, Bravo, Romeo. Lovely. We are going to be Scandinavian. What was it? 5-7 Bravo? 5-7 Bravo. Yes, it was. 5-7 Bravo. And it looks like out of weather today out of Copenhagen, winds are 320 at 7. So I'd assume that they're going to be departing the 4s, if I am not mistaken. So we will be departing runway 4 right today. Lovely. So let's go and throw 4 right into the FMC here. Runway, we're going to go and activate and execute that. Lovely. We're going to wait for the IRS to start aligning there. On short final 4 left. If you want to see my landing, I got you, Microsoft. Let's go and head up here. Let's go and head up here. What kind of video card do you have? For some reason, your textures look way better than what Owls looked like last night. JJ, I have a 4070 12 gigabyte card. Well, Captain Pearl Jam, pizza comes with tomato sauce, so I'm not sure, JJ. I am not sure. Not on the wrong runway, are we? No, we're not. So he is on short final. He said we'll go and check out his landing really quickly. Yeah, he has a better card than me, JJ. I'm not sure why his textures would be looking the way they're looking. Unfortunately, I was asleep while he was streaming yesterday, so I was not able to check out his stream. Running Ultra, only on textures. Only on textures. As in aircraft textures, that's the only thing that I run Ultra on. Everything else is set to a high preset. If you guys have not done so today, please make sure you do smash down that thumbs up button for me today. I would greatly appreciate that. It's 17 likes already, man. Really do appreciate y'all. Yeah, we're watching, Microsoft Nerd. We are watching. Sorry, guys. I was just reading some stuff into CSS Discord. Nuclear, if you're still in the chat, please do not feel that my words earlier today, or earlier at the start of stream, are are to misguide people into not providing you guys with constructive criticism. I have reviewed many products since the start of my YouTube streaming. Believe when I say if I have something that I believe needs to be fixed with the airplane, I will make you guys aware. I am not trying to start any drama, but I do not tolerate people in the chat being disrespectful towards other people's work. Being disrespectful versus constructive criticism are two completely different things. So I do apologize if there were any what's the word I'm trying to look for right now? Do apologize if my words were misconstrued in any way, but that is not at all my goal, which is why I reached out to you guys and wanted to review this product. I think it's the opposite side. Are you landing 4 right or 4 left? I do not see you. Yeah, I'm sorry, Microsoft Nerd. I'm not seeing you. It shows that you're kind of just stuck from the water side. I'm aware. I'm looking at 4 left, but I have to get this stream started, Microsoft Nerd. I have to get this aircraft airborne. I've been streaming 25 minutes already. We should be pushing back from the gate already. I know Alice had some auto throttle and VNAV bugs last night in the stream, so keep an eye out on those. I got you. We'll check them out. We shall see how she goes, man. We shall see. Running RX 7800 XT AMD GPU 16GB. Would love to see what it looks like on Ultra. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not seeing you, Microsoft Nerd. And I am connected to VATSIM. Give me just a second here. It shows you landed already. Yeah, I am. Oh, there you are. I had a frickin' VMR file in the vPilot client that was and the sim crashes. Lovely. I knew removing that VMR file was going to cause issues, man. I had installed a new VMR file for... it's okay, guys. We'll get things restarted here in just a second. I should not have removed that VMR file and reconnected the way I just did. All right. Yeah, I had installed a model matching for a couple of private jets, as in corporate jets like the Citation Longitude and so on and so forth. And that seems to have broken the vPilot VMR files. So give it just a second, guys. We'll get back into the sim and we'll go from there. I knew that was going to happen. I had a gut feeling this was going to happen, and that happened. So stand by, ladies and gentlemen. Give me just a couple of minutes. I just need to get this relaunched, and we will go from there, guys. That crash was self-induced, guys. I had nothing to do with the simulator. That was self-induced. That was 100% my fault. Charlie 32, Microsoft Nerd. Charlie 32 is where I was at. What happened? Zemp, I had installed a new VMR file into vPilot to give me better model matching for some corporate jets, and that seems to have broken my model matching, so I removed it and reconnected to vPilot while the sim was running, and it crashed the sim. So I'm just trying to get the sim to force quit through Steam really quickly. As you guys all know, if Microsoft crash, it just runs in the frickin' background of Steam. So give me just a couple of minutes, guys, while I get this reset, and then we will get back into the simulator, and then we have got to get this aircraft airborne and on its way. Are you asking what a VMR file is, Captain Pearl Jam, or are you asking what VMR file? Grab, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you stopping and welcome. What is it? A VMR file is model matching rule sets for the vPilot client. Captain Pearl Jam, to give you a little bit more realistic model matching for AI traffic or for VATSIM traffic. That's what that does. Come on, Steam. Just shut the product down. That is all I'm asking you to do, please. Just shut the product down. Sorry, guys. Give me just a minute. And I fucking knew better, man. I should have just left it alone. Come on, Microsoft, just stop running in the background, man. Jesus, this is the most frustrating part of Microsoft. Oy vey almighty. Yes, Pearl Jam, that is correct. Bingo. All right, sweet. Let's relaunch the sim. All right, guys, we're reloading into the sim now. Once we get loaded into the sim, guys, I am going to get the aircraft set up relatively quick, and then we're going to get airborne and get on our way. You know, because right now the people's faces look like their eyes are melting. My mom said not to play this game because the people look like zombies and we go to church. I have quite honestly no idea what you're talking about, Pearl Jam. Crash the desktop. Yeah, Hazar, I removed a VMR file from the vPilot client, and when I reconnected, the sim crashed. To be expected, but I'm glad that Microsoft Nerd told me to watch his landing, because then I found out that something was broken. You have perfect skin, you must work night shift or wear sunscreen every day. I work night shift for DME, and I can promise you on camera it might look perfect, but in person my skin is far from perfect, my friend. thought it was a Windows update, but I'm not sure. I only thought this is a couple of months after the crash to desktop started. No, gamer, I haven't had any issues as of recent when it comes to crash to desktops. This crash to desktop that we just had was self-inflicted. It's because I removed a file from the game while the game was running. So, no, nothing major, Hazar. Not the people, Pearl Jam, the aircraft traffic. Yeah, everything's all right, guys. It was a self-inflicted crash to desktop. I removed a file from the game while the game was running from vPilot. It was a VMR file. I was hoping it wouldn't crash when I did that, but I've had instances in the past where I was messing with VMR files to get better model matching, and it crashed. So it was self-inflicted. It had nothing to do with the sim, guys. So we're just getting loaded back up. And we're going to get on our way, man. Shaq, yes. By technicality, yes, but it was self-inflicted. I made the game crash. The game just didn't crash on its own. Luckily, we were still on the ground. Used to have a lot of crash to desktop, right? Any fixes? I have had something similar since December. There are a plethora of different instances that could be causing crash to desktops, Gamer M. I don't necessarily want to say that Rex Atmos was what was causing my crash to desktops. But the streams where I was not running Rex Atmos in the background have been successful, and I didn't get any crashes, so I've kind of littered it down to that. But again, that's not confirmed. Have I ever watched XP72? Oh yeah, I've been watching XP72 for a long time. XP72 is a very good friend of mine. Zemp, we're going to be departing 4 right. Can you fly rockets in this game? I'm like a spaceship. I think there's a spaceship in this game. I'm not sure. It's not anything I've ever looked into wanting to do. What you had sounds similar to what I have. Yeah, Gamer M, unfortunately, you're just going to have to start going through your community folder and removing stuff that you've recently installed and going through the painful task of just tracking down one broken thing that's causing your sim not to work. Yeah, Gamer M, I have not been using Rex Atmos since my crash to desktops issues have started. Now, they just recently pushed out an update. I have not ran the game with Rex Atmos since the update, so... And in the update, it said it has fixed crash to desktop stuff, so... Pearl Jam, I have no idea what a tuk-tuk is. All right, let's get this airplane going, guys. We've been live entirely too long for us not to be airborne just yet. Okay, that does not seem right. Noah Miller Hate Club. I'm not a fan of that name, my good friend, to be quite honest with you. I'm doing all right. Where'd you get the 735, Jason? This is a pre-release copy of the CSS Commercial Simulation Systems 737 Classic. Give it a second for it to load. Oh, okay, Sean, I gotcha. So I think the CSS launcher was not running either, so I think that was something on my end as well. Yeah. Yeah, Sean, the launcher wasn't running, so that's why I went back to the main menu. Microsoft nerd, yes, Sean is from CSS. He is a tester for them. How much is this plane? This plane is a subscription-based. Subscription-based. So you can buy it for 1 month, or you can buy it for the year. Or you can buy it indefinitely. So you can pay monthly, you can pay yearly, or you can buy it indefinitely. No, Jason, this is a pre-release copy. The aircraft has not released as of yet. Sean, should I relaunch this? Relaunch the launcher? Looks like a freeware quality plane. I can promise you it's not. Let me relaunch the launcher. There we go. Bingo. I just had to relaunch it. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, thank you. All right. Ground ops, GPU. All right, guys, let's get this thing going. Such bad texturing. I disagree. I do think the texturing could be a little better, but it's definitely not the worst I've seen. I definitely think the texturing here is pretty well done. Especially around the old gauges and stuff like that, all the wear and tear. It just looks like an old airplane, which is what I love. So I definitely don't think the textures are the worst. I mean, you've got, if you compare this to like what the Captain Sim 717 is, then that's night and day difference. I am not connected to vPilot just as yet. Microsoft nerd, give me just a second, please. I hear you. I hear you. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. I disagree. I think the texturing is actually pretty decently done, but that's just my opinion. All right, guys, we need to get airborne. All right, battery. Emergency exit lights. Bingo. Ground power online. Lovely. Okay, let's go and head upstairs. IRS is over to the nav position. Lovely. And let's start going through our flows left aft. Lovely. Galley power is coming online. Awesome. It's all looking good. Panel light can come up. No smoking over to the on position. Fasten seatbelts can stay off for right now. Get our window heat online. Pitot-static can come off or stay off. Electrics look good. Lovely. Again, we're going to be cruising at 36,000 feet today. I think 36,000 is a bit high. We'll be fine. Keep the pressurization over to ground and a position light over to steady. All right, let's go and get our lights set up again. Guys, I'm not going to worry about GSX loading or anything like that right now, being we've already been streaming 40 minutes. I want to get this aircraft airborne, so we're just going to get the flight plans set up and ready to go, and then we are going to get on our way out of here. Free Lethal, what's going on, man? Hope you're doing well. We're comparing this to Captain Sim, then they're charging $120, and I think I can see the problem. No, that's not at all what I meant. It's not at all what I meant. From what I'm based off of what I'm hearing you say, you're saying that the textures are god awful, and I've seen aircraft such as the Captain Sim 717, Virtual Call, Breedock, so on and so forth. Those is what I would call bad texturing, right? This is by no means bad in my opinion. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get this aircraft set and ready to go here. EKCH, let's go and set the IRS position there. Lovely. EKCH in the origin. We're heading over to Brussels EBBR. We're going to be departing runway 04 right. Throw it in there, and we are Scandinavian 5-7 Bravo today. I'll throw it in there. Lovely. Okay, let's go and activate and execute that. Awesome. I want to head over to the load page. Before we do that, I'm going to head over to SimBrief. Let's go ahead and throw this in here. Lovely. That's all set there. Now we can head over to Ground Ops load. So today, we are going to have a total of 103 passengers on board. So let's go ahead and get this loaded up. 103 is what we're looking for. 103. Fuel, we do need 15,900 pounds. That is set. We need a zero fuel weight today of 94.6, so we need to remove a little bit of cargo. All right, 94.6, that's set. All right, I'm going to do an instant load really quickly here, guys. That's all set there. Lovely. Definitely looks better than what I saw last night. I bet his textures were turned down. They might have been. They might have been. Cockpit has no textures. It looks like they just put the same low quality JPEG over the edge of every instrument. I disagree. I disagree. I mean, yeah, it's your opinion, but I disagree. I disagree. And you got to think, a classic 737 didn't have a lot in the cockpit to begin with. It's not like a newer gen 737 where the entire I mean, we're all these gray areas that we're seeing here with nothing on it. We're used to seeing something there now with the newer 73s that are out, right? But in an older aircraft like this, I mean, it just is what it is, right? Yeah, he's just expressing his opinion, JJ. He's all good. And he's being respectful about it, see? See what I'm saying? Respectful. All right, sweet. Let's go and we now have fuel on board, so I want to go ahead and get the APU started up. We're going to hold that down for 3 seconds and then release. Lovely. Get the isolation valve over to the auto position. It's all set there. Lovely. What do you think of RSW? Was it better than Fly 2? 100% free lethal. 100%. We will be streaming that tomorrow. Gonna fly from San Fran to Paris. Ooh, nice. I heavily disagree with the whole idea that there aren't any textures. The cockpit textures look phenomenal. I agree. I agree. I think the texturing in this aircraft is very well done. Oh, JJ, I gotcha. I gotcha. Yeah, I messed around with the aircraft this morning. The sounds are very, very nicely done, in my opinion. You can hear the APU starting up from the cockpit. It's such an old airplane, man. I love old airplanes. All right, just waiting for the APU to get started up here, guys. Then we're going to hop over to the APU gens and get the APU bleed online. Be able to disconnect ground power. Picked up the vertical RSW yesterday and flew JFK RSW. It's very nice. Nice. Hell yeah, man. Love to see it. All right, APU Gen 1 and 2 coming online. APU bleed is coming online. Lovely. We can go and disconnect the GPU. Let's go and head over to ground ops doors and get rid of the GPU there. It is disconnecting there. Lovely. Let's go and get the packs online, get some air conditioning into the airplane here. Sweet. Ground power has disconnected. Lovely. Let me go and turn the sounds up just a little bit here. All right, and let's go and head down. What did I just do? Did I just do something incorrect? What are you talking? I'm on APU bleed power. Okay, now we're back on. Why are the gens throwing right now? Am I doing something wrong? What the fuck? Both packs will disconnect the APU gens. Oh, okay. Interesting. All right, sweet. Okay, that makes more sense. All right, lovely. Okay. Now we're good. Thank you for that, Sean. Thank you for that. You're right. I read that in the freaking manual today. I'm just so stuck in my ways with the newer 7.3s being able to run both packs on APU. But you are absolutely right. Sweet. Okay, awesome. Let's go ahead and head over and start getting our stuff set and ready to go here, guys. Let's go ahead and head over to departures. Departures out of Copenhagen. We're going to be departing on the Lango 2 Alpha departure. Let's go and grab the Lango 2 Alpha departure and execute that. Head over to route, and then next page. From I'm sorry, we're right here. From Lango, it's going to be Papa 999 to Alpha Lima Sierra. Execute that, head over to the next page. From Alpha Lima Sierra, we're going to be on November 872. I wonder if I can actually do this. November 872 to Zulu 310. I wonder if this is something we can do in this airplane. It might not have been able to. No, you cannot. Okay. That's going to be to Lilsi. Lilsi. Further than there. And then from Lilsi, it's Z310 to Woody. It's going good so far, Caleb. It's going good so far. I'm just learning. To Woody, and then from there, we're going to be jumping onto the Woody 4 Bravo arrival into Brussels. Okay, lovely. Arrivals, Brussels. So, winds into Brussels, guys, right now are 320 at 2. So we are going to be planning for the 7s. We're going to plan for runway 7 left. That's going to be on the Woody 4 Bravo arrival. So, Woody 4 Bravo. Lovely. We're going to be on the ILS for 7 left. VOR. I'm sorry. Is there not an ILS for the 7s? Oh, they're only VRR approaches. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Adeliz, I am 28 years old. I'll be 29 in 8 days. Interesting. So, I guess we're going to be flying a VOR approach. Just 7 left. Recirc fan over to auto. I believe that is this, correct? Yeah, it's in auto right now. Okay, so VOR 7 left. I guess that's what we're going to be doing there. And we're going to be taking that from Kirky. Go and execute that lovely legs page. Next, go and make sure we don't have any discontinuities in the flight plan, which we do. So we're going to go and grab this Woody here and attach it to that Woody. And execute. Lovely. Awesome. Aviation game, it's going so far. We had a little bit of a issue with V-Pilot. I made the sim crash by accident, so. Recirc is at the top of that row. This right here. Up by the packs. Oh, gotcha. I look 19. I wish I was still 19. Live traffic shows planes land 01. You know what? I might actually want to do that. I really want to see how the ILS flies in this airplane. So we're going to check. We're going to do ILS 1 from Kirky on the Woody 4 Bravo. I'm much more comfortable with that. So we're going to do that instead. And we'll just vector ourselves out for the ILS runway 1. Okay, yep, that works for me. Lovely. Data on as well. Okay, so the map is looking good there. What is... So weird having the EFIS panel down here versus up here. Do a leg to Gadsden. My producer lives there. No, I don't have scenery for that. You know much about sound engineering? I do not. All right, sweet. Let's go and head over to the performance tab here, guys. Takeoff. Our takeoff is going to be out of Copenhagen, EKCH. We're going to be departing 4 right. Flaps will be 5. Anti-ice will be off. Bleeds are off. Lovely. Okay, winds out of EKCH are 320 at 7. The normal climb runway condition is dry currently. The temperature is 12 degrees and our QNH is currently 1016. This early alpha, I don't think it's an alpha, Ivan. This is a pre-release copy. Minneapolis age. Does Minneapolis age you 10 times as fast as other cities? Pearl Jam, I have no idea what you're talking about, dude. Forgive me, guys, but what is MEL? I am not familiar with MEL. Okay, so currently temperature at 12 degrees Celsius. What's what it wants us going to. V1 at 139, VR at 142, V2 at 148. So let's go and head over to the init ref page. Or, I'm sorry, the perf page is what I'm trying to get to. Sorry. Perf init. There we go. So there's no it's fine. What was our zero fuel weight again? Zero fuel weight was 94.6. 94.6. Minimum equipment list. No need to worry about that. Okay, thank you. All right, that's all set there. Reserves. We have 3.5 in the reserves. And we're going to have a cost index of 45 today. And we're going to be cruising up at... I think I'm actually only going to take us to 32,000, guys. Yeah, we're only going to go up to 32,000. That's fine with me. Unable cruise altitude. Why unable cruise altitude? We should be fine. All right, average wind today is 316 at 2. And with an ISA deviation of 0. Sweet. Head over to takeoff. Our outside air temperature, like I said, is going to be 12 degrees. With a selected temperature of 12 degrees. Lovely. And our V1, that was 139, 142, 148. So 139, 142, and 148. All right, that's all looking good there. Lovely. There's in-op equipment. Yeah, I figured. Once you guys said minimum equipment list, I was like, I gotcha. All right, so we have no ATC online right now, so we're going to go ahead and cruise up to 32,000 feet here, guys. Do I make music? No, I do not. $32,000, and we're going to VREF V2 plus 10, so 158. 58. Okay, that's set there. We'll get flight directors 1 master and secondary online. Lovely. Wife can sing. Very nice. Information Echo, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. Kayla Bockelman, hope you're doing well. Appreciate you stopping in. Welcome, welcome. She's hot. I think that's why I married her. I'm happy for you. All right, guys, let's go and get these fuel pumps online. And let's go ahead and call up for pushback and departure. Check DMs. I gotcha. How's performance so far? So far, so good. So far, so good. Let's go and prep for pushback and departure here, guys. Spawn and Salmon, what's going on, man? Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you stopping and welcome, welcome.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
JJ, I got you. I got you. All right, seatbelt sign can come online. We are on Unicom.
Departure check completed. Wipe has been inserted.
Need to push the talk button really quickly. Okay, it's already set there. Love it. All right. All right, let's go ahead and pause up the music here, guys, and let's go ahead and get en route, shall we? Turn the sims up for these engine starts.
Release parking brakes.
All right, let's go and release the brakes.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at wheel.
All right, lovely. Let's go and get the packs turned off. Beacon light can come on. And let's go and start up these engines, shall we? Engine 2 over to ground. N2's coming up, lovely. Sounds need work. I think they're so far so good. Oops, shit. Wait for that 25%, then we'll introduce fuel. There's 25%. We're going to introduce fuel to the aircraft. Going Aviation, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. Nice route, Fossa. Yeah, 350 is an awesome airplane. My guy with the name of Noah Miller Hate Club, I know I've been interacting with you in chat and stuff like that, but with all due respect, if you are talking about the Noah Miller that I am thinking about, that is a very, very good friend of mine, and I think your name is pretty disrespectful, so I would respectfully ask that you change your name if you're going to be in my chat. If not, unfortunately, I'm going to have to remove you, my friend.
Set parking brakes.
All right, let's go and set the brakes. And engine start over to ground. Which Noah Miller is your name referencing? It's one of the inside joke with one of your boys. All right, this is 25%. Introduce fuel.
Unlocking gear.
EGT's coming up. Got fuel flow. Oil pressure's coming up. All right, Aviation 7-3, appreciate you, man.
Tow truck disconnected. Pipe has been removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
All right, looks like we got a good start on both engines. Lovely. Let's go and grab Gen 1 and Gen 2. APU bleed can come off. Let's get our packs back online. Lovely. We're all looking good there. APU can come off.
Clear to start engines.
Clear to start. Oh, we already started, my guy. Don't get mad, but how come you don't beg like other streamers? What do you mean beg? Okay, it's a baseball player. Ah, I thought you were talking about the Noah Miller that's in all the flight sim chats. I stand corrected. My apologies. All right, guys, let's go and get flap set position 5. 2, and 5. Adeliz, I don't beg for donations because I don't need them. I appreciate people's generosity just by being here. And if they decide to stream, or they decide to donate, then they decide to donate. Alright, LNAV is armed. VNAV is not engaging. We might have to engage that once we're airborne. Alright. We're looking good. Let's go and release the brakes. Let's get taxied out here. Do a quick takeoff config. Takeoff config. Why am I getting a takeoff config warning? Is my trim not set? Trim's in the green. That pitch trim wheel is a bit loud. Why am I getting a takeoff config warning, guys? Do we know?
Copenhagen traffic. Scandinavian 101 taxiing runway 04 right via Mike. Zulu Alpha cross runway 12. Charlie.
Yaw dampers on.
Bravo all the way down.
Spoilers are not armed. Nope, spoilers are off.
Scandinavian.
What is the config warning for? Flaps are set. APU is off. Ram door full open. Recirc fan is auto. Packs are auto. Read the manual? Yeah, I read the manual. We need to get that over to flight. Do I need to set the cabin altitude to something? Nav set to auto. Okay, we'll set this to auto. Auto brake is RTO. Yeah, I'm still getting a takeoff config warning. Sean, what do I need to set the cabin altitude to? Does this go to flight altitude as well? AJ, what's going on? $3, my man. Have multiple personalities. Have your own hate club. Exactly. Appreciate you, man. W's in the chat for you, man. Thank you. Thank you. Auto brakes to RTO, yeah. Auto brakes are set to RTO. The only thing I can think of is cabin altitude. I'd assume that this is probably what it is. I don't know what I need to set this to. I'm trying to go through... Set flaps 5. Yeah, flaps are set position 5. That is correct. Engine start to continuous. Yeah, we can try that. I don't think that would... Landing altitude, I mean, the landing altitude... All right, set to 180. I'm not getting any recall messages. Let's try again. Yeah, I'm still getting a takeoff config warning. I do not understand why. Yeah, engine start switches are over to continuous. Well, the stab trim is set to where it needs to be. It needs to be at 3, which we're at 3. Yeah, rudder trim is at 0. Interesting. Four-star CDU. Generators, pitot, anti-ice, isolation valve, auto. Engine start switches continuous, recall, checked auto brake. Engine start leaves, idle, D10, flight controls, checked, ground equipment clear, before takeoff, flaps, green light, stabilizer trim, blanket units. No, I'm doing it without the parking brake, guys. Should have both. I mean, we could try that. I'm still gonna take off config warning. Flaps are indicating 5 with green. I don't get it. I do not get it. Sean, what do I need to set the cabin altitude to? Does that need to be to my cruise altitude? I'm still getting the config warning. Should we just send it, guys? No, you're not supposed to arm the spoilers in a 737. Cycle your flaps, all right. We're programmed for flaps 5. So that's set. Let's go and recycle our flaps. Yeah, flaps are set 5 in the FMC. That is correct. Flaps are 5 with the green light now. Still getting the takeoff config warning. Yeah, I don't know what would be causing that. I do not. It's all good, guys. We'll just send it. I'll hit the altitude horn cutout. Yeah, I'm very confused as to what would be causing this. Very, very confused. Overhead panel is set. Everything here is good. I don't see why I would be getting a takeoff config warning. I have a feeling, I have an inkling that it's trim related. Let's try a different trim value. I'm still getting it. I got you, Sean. It's all good. Yeah, yaw dampers on. No master cautions. Everything's good. Recalls are good. Yeah, everything's set. I don't see why I would be getting a config warning at this point, but it's all good. It is what it is. It sounds like, yeah, possibly.
Copenhagen traffic, ending 101 knots. Right on the lane.
Love the analog ticking sound. Yeah, me too. Sounds are mid. So far, I'm impressed. I like them. Just sounds like an old airplane. All good, pipeline, no worries. Taxi's nice. I like the ground physics. It feels heavy. But Adel, is you got to remember they're doing 4 different variants. Doing I believe 3, 4, and 5, and possibly the 2. Sean, correct me if I'm wrong.
Copenhagen traffic, Scandinavian 101, clear runway 04 right on the lane.
RTO is showing the amber light. Yeah, it's showing disarm now. It's because I reset it. I might just have to do it while the... Yeah. It is what it is, bro. I'm just... It should be normal. Now it's extinguished. Noah, you don't have to spam the same message twice within 3 different messages of each other, man. They're not going to scam people. Right, AJ? Right. Copenhagen, Scandinavian 5-7, probably going to be lining up and departing 4 right on the Lingo 2 Alpha. FS man, what's going on? Alright guys, let's get our lights on. Sean, another criticism I would make is make the switches scroll wheel compatible. Are you calling it junk, Noah Miller Hate Club? You're calling it junk, and you're still saying you're gonna buy it. That doesn't make any sense. Adeliz, we already have a 727 in the sim by Flight Sim Studios. All right, guys, let's do it. You guys know my throttles are broken, so we're just gonna go and hit that toga button. Let's do it. Ignore the takeoff config warning. Ignore the takeoff config. I don't know what it is. We've checked literally everything. All right, it's 80 knots. There's V1 and rotate. Come on, you gonna go airborne? There we go. Positive rate. Gear's coming up. And she flies nice. Why is VNav not arming? Alright, there's VNav. There's climb thrust. We'll start that right turn. It's because we are on an intercept. Ooh, she flies really nice. Alright, let's bring those flaps in. Yeah, the engine power is a bit much. A bit much.
In traffic, scheduled event 1595 gonna be lining up runway 4 right.
Alright, gear to the off position. Awesome, we can actually put the gear to the off position. Yeah, it's powerful. I forget, these are the same engines versus the 900, 700. Overspeed.
Copenhagen traffic scheduled event 1595 gonna be departing runway 4 right video laying.
We're on flight right, yeah, we are. The flight model is really good, guys. The flight model is really, really good. Very, very smooth to fly. Very, very smooth to fly. Alright, autopilot command A is coming on. Yeah, I like the flight model a lot. Man, we're at 10,000 already. Jesus. Thing's a rocket ship. Yeah, it is them, Matt. It is them. All right, Noah Miller and Captain Pearl Jam. As I said at the beginning of the stream, I need you guys to be respectful. Come in with constructive criticism versus just saying, oh, CSS is Breedock with lipstick on. That is a bullshit statement, Pearl Jam. You ever flown a Breedock aircraft? Like, give me a fucking break, dude. You guys need to chill out with the disrespect, man. You don't want the product, don't buy it. You don't like it, sweet. Be respectful. That's all I'm asking from you guys. You guys can express your opinion and your constructive criticism, just like I am. But don't be an asshole about it. CSS is Breedock with lipstick on. Give me a fucking break, dude. IXCG is a completely different company, Noah Miller. We cannot compare different companies and different mindsets on what they want to do with their products, right? I'm familiar with the IXCG. I flew X-Plane for a very, very long time. But we need to... I get that they paid you to review this thing. I'm not trying to be this thing $120. You got to understand. Noah, you are sorely mistaken if you think they paid me to review this thing. And again, I will say again, has nothing to do with the fact that you guys have an opinion. It's the fact that you guys are being disrespectful. You can state your opinion without being disrespectful, brother. That is what I'm saying. And if you actually think I was paid to review, if you actually think I'm paid to review any product, then you guys are sorely mistaken. You guys are just being rude for no reason, man. Be professional about it if you're going to give criticism to a company that's providing a product to the sim. I have my criticism to this. I'm going to be sending a detailed message to the devs after the stream about what I saw and what I think could be improved. Breedock with lipstick. That is ridiculous. No, I understand. My comments were more towards Pearl Jam and being rude. But I think I'll keep my money. I've worked with IXZ. You're comparing a Microsoft new dev to an X-Plane dev that has been around for a very long time, right? And you have to think of the totality of the circumstances. They're giving 4 different variants for the price of 120. So if you buy the 737 now, classic at the $120 price range, you're going to be getting all of the other variants that they release for free. So you think about that, that's $30 an aircraft. Well, I get that, Noah. And that's IXCG's business model versus CSS's business model, man. Not everyone's going to agree with CSS and their subscription base, but here's the beautiful thing about it. You pay $5 for 1 month to fly the aircraft a few times like you want to, and guess what? You're not obligated to have it in your sim or pay one-time price. There's an option, which I can see where that would be beneficial to the everyday flight simmer that just doesn't want to fly a classic 737 all the time. They pay $5 for 1 month, fly what they want to fly, and then forget about it. If they want to come back to it, guess what? You pay another $5. You know, I can kind of see where that that business model would make sense. Versus having to actually imagine if CSS came out with this and they were charging $120 just bare bones, right? With no subscription or annual fee, right? So I can understand where people are kind of like skeptical on the subscription thing, but I mean, there is some sense behind it. Gamer M, so far so good. External shot, sure. I'm gonna go ahead and get the sim turned down and get our music started back up. External sounds nice. I get your point, Noah, but I disagree. It's just a business model, right? Other developers don't have to follow what CSS is doing. Now, if CSS comes out with this and it is unbelievably successful, then I don't see why other devs wouldn't want to follow. If it's making them money, it's making money. You got to understand they have to make a profit on this. They have to. It's a business, right? But at the same time, you know, this is the first time we're seeing something like this in what I've seen ever. in the simulator since I've been flight simming. Do have one question, if I may. Do you have the same build as the streamers yesterday, or are you on another? Same build, Steven. Yeah, the bird is nice, Sean. I will say that. It's just so old school looking, man. It is so old school looking. I love it. Rather spend $5 to see if I like it than spend $120 and hate it. Exactly, Lord Reverend. I agree with that. I can see that and see where it benefits. Goodness, excuse me, guys. I'm gonna have to step out for just a second. But I can see where there's benefits to the subscription base. It's like, okay, I'm skeptical about this aircraft. I will pay $5 for 1 month to see if I like it. Don't like it, you're not obligated, and you're not sitting here hating yourself because you just dropped $120. Now, you pay the $5 for that 1 month, you buy the airplane for the month, and you fly it, and you fall in love with it. Guess what? You can either buy it annually for $50, or you can just buy it outright for the $120 and get every update and every new variant for free going forward. So, I mean, there's some common sense to this business model, which I think CSS is being really smart with. You know, it's offering the community an airplane for $5 a month, and if you don't like it, you don't have to buy it again, and you're not going to be smacking yourself in the face for spending $5 on a product, right? Do I think $120 is a bit steep for the full cost of the airplane indefinitely? Sure, but that's my opinion. I think for all 4 variants at the level of detail that they're going for, now am I saying the level of detail is there right now? No, there is still some work that needs to be done, right? I do think the texturing is very, very good, but I do think the texturing could be a little bit more refined would be the word I would use. But, I mean, there's not much for me to complain about this aircraft right now. There's not much. I mean, there's some bugs, the takeoff config warning that I have no idea why we were getting, but the aircraft hand flies beautifully. The flight model is amazing. Just based off of the takeoff and climbing out to about 11,000 feet, it was really, really good. And so far, I mean, performance of the aircraft, the performance is really good. The textures, again, you know, it's a subjective thing. Some people think the textures are amazing. I think they're good. Do I think they could be better? Absolutely. I think there's room for improvement. But sounds, I do think the sounds are a bit vacuumy. I do think there's a bit wind-washy sound on the sounds. I think the sounds could be a little bit more refined as well. But all in all, I'm relatively happy with the product, you know? So 120 is more expensive than anything ever released for the sim. If you're going to be the most expensive, be the best. That's all I can say, bro. Again, the $120 price point is for indefinite purchase of every aircraft that they release going forward for this variant of airplane, for the 737. So going forward, you will get the 300, the 400, the 500, and all the freighters that they're planning on doing as well. So you got to think about that. If you put all that into totality of what their business model is in pricing, you think about it, by the time they are done with all of the airplanes and all of them are released, you're paying $30 an airplane, right? So I don't think that's bad at all. Not even Phoenix is charging $120 for anything, and their stuff is top tier. That's not true, Noah. They're 319, 320, 321 pack. The combo to buy all 3 is like $115 US. Yeah, I agree, JJ. The try before you buy, I like that. Wait, the sheepskin seats don't look too fuzzy, unflyable, uninstalling, and bleach in my heart. Look at how much PMDG charges in total for the 777 variants. This bird is a steal for the price you try. Exactly. Arco makes a phenomenal point right there. Look at PMDG and what they're doing with their variants. So you get PMDG, you get the 737 6, 7, 8, and 9. Let's do the math, right? So in order to purchase all 737 variants, let's go ahead and just remove the 600 out of the equation. But so you have the 600, which is $35, but we'll remove that from the equation. The 737 700 not on sale is $75 US, right? So So let me go and pull out my calculator just so I can do quick math so I don't have to think too much right now. The 800 is 75 US dollars. And the 900 is 50 US dollars. That's $200 for 3 airplanes, right? That is $67 per airplane versus 30, right? But you add the 600 to that, that just makes it even worse, right? So that's what, 235 now divided by 4? Yeah, it's $60 an airplane if you buy all 4, and you're paying individually, right? What is our Mach number? Mach 7.3? Yeah, we can do that a little bit better, huh? Cruise. It says unable cruise altitude. We're at our cruise altitude. Gary, I'm not being spicy. I'm just being realistic. You know, I'm not trying to sound like a jackass or anything like that. I'm just being realistic with my thoughts, you know. I disagree that I disagree with a lot of the opinions about the price point for the airplane. But again, I also said that I think $120 is a bit steep. I do. No, they didn't cheap out, dude, just because they didn't hire a professional sound developer to make their sounds, dude. Do you know how much Boris probably costs to make sounds for an airplane? We don't know what CSS's budget is for this aircraft and what they can and cannot afford. And maybe they just wanted to do it themselves. And all in all, in my personal opinion, the sounds are not the worst I've heard. They're not. Even PMDG's sounds, when they first released the 777, were not up to par with what they should have been for the price that they asked of that airplane. Right? They didn't cheap out. It's just Boris probably costs a ton of money. I'm partnered with the guy. I'm partnered with Boris. I guarantee you he charges probably a freaking arm and a leg for the work that he does. And warranted, because Boris sounds are incredible. But again, so I'm a bit confused here. So I'm trying to get the aircraft to go up to Mach 7.8, but it is not. It's cruising at 266 at Mach 7.4. Not sure why that would be. I mean, we'll make do. Take a look at the Mad Dog sounds. Those are not all that great. If you think, yeah, the Leonardo Mad Dog sounds, in my opinion, are atrocious. Default. That airplane needs a sound pack to be good, which I have. I have the FT Sim sound pack for the MD-80. Makes it so much better. Plane has issues with speed and auto throttle. I got you, Steven. I mean, the auto throttle is doing its thing the way it's supposed to. I wonder if I do... I can't take command of the speed. I'm sure I can. I can't figure out how. Doom, I'm doing well, man. Doing well, no complaints. I'm under the weather today, and that might be the reason why I seem like I'm being a little asshole-ish today. I'm just not feeling that well. I've been battling a headache and some pretty nasty nausea since I got home from work this morning at 7 a.m. So 12 hours worth of nausea and a headache is pretty frustrating. But we're here, man. We're here. Speed button? I hit the speed button, but it's not activating. Hope you're doing well, Colin. Appreciate you stopping in, buddy. Colin, I'm assuming your computer is still with your buddy, hence why you didn't hit me up on Friday. I don't want it to seem like I was blowing you off. I should have texted you. I completely forgot, but I'm assuming your computer is still getting upgraded. Click level change and make sure vertical speed is 0 after you select it. Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and push this up to 7.8, shall we? Oh, I gotcha. I gotcha, Colin. I'm assuming you were flying. Okay, so now the airplane is slowing down. It's not maintaining 7.8 like I want it to. We're at throttle idle here. Airplane's speeding up. Just got home from a 5-day trip. I gotcha. Yet we're descending. Okay. Why are we descending now? I believe it's one of the bugs being worked on. Watch your altitude. I got you, Sean. As long as you guys are aware of it, I'm glad I could replicate it on the sim for you guys. As long as it's being worked on, because yeah, that's an issue. You should be able to select your Mach speed in the FMC, and the VNav should automatically take that. But it does not seem like it's doing that. And the engines are not responding to my command here. So I'm going to go ahead and just go manual for right now. We're getting to a stall buffer here. Noah, it is a brand new fucking product, bro. There's going to be bugs. I said the same thing about the AnyBuilds 350 when everybody was complaining in my chat about the 350 not being up to par and shit like that. I said the same freaking thing. It is a brand new product. Shit is gonna have to be worked on. Christ's sake, man. So many people in this community that just expect perfection. Don't expect there to be problems along the way. Good lord. It's a reason why it's in quotations in my title that says pre-release. And they literally just announced. I'll read it for you here. After sending out press copies of our product, we encountered the fact that several streamers had difficulties launching the aircraft. So this is a new challenge for us because a huge number of our testers did not have such problems. We cannot afford to let you down and go into release until we are sure that this error is fixed. In this regard, we have made it only right decision in such situation, postpone release until the problem is resolved. That's just stating one problem that they have, right? And they've delayed the release because it's one issue that they want fixed. On top of that, with a plethora of other bugs that they are actively working on. Okay? So, you guys have to give developers chances to redeem and fix issues. It's software. right? There's gonna be bugs, man. There's been no plane for the simulator since I've been on Flight Simulator X that has ever released for a simulator that has not released with bugs. PMDG, Captain Sim when they were a viable option back in the day. Who was the frickin' 787 developer for P3D? Quality Wings. Any Builds has had issues with their aircrafts, right? Phoenix had issues with the airplanes. The Phoenix wasn't even flyable when it first released, man, due to the performance of the airplane with frame rates and so on and so forth, right? So it's just, you guys have to give people chances to make their products what it needs to be, right? So am I sitting here defending CSS? In a sense, kinda, but at the same time, no, because I'm letting them know there are problems with this airplane. There are problems. I'm replicating them for a freaking a tester for them right now, right? So again, Sean, if you're still here, we're at 32,000. Auto throttle is armed and it's in speed mode. I'm gonna go ahead and re-engage VNAV. But we're just at throttle idle right now. So that is an issue. There is an issue with the auto throttle in this airplane. There is an issue with the auto throttle. AJ, my man, I appreciate you for the $3, dude. W's in the chat for you, man. Great stream compared to the others. Thank you. I appreciate it, Vinny. Thank you. Noah, you are so focused on the $120 price tag. You are forgetting that this aircraft can be flown for $5 for 1 month or $50 a year. You are so focused on the indefinite purchase price. You are forgetting that you do not have to indefinitely purchase this aircraft if you do not like it. What's the issue? It's not following VNAV speed for one. And for two, it started descending on its own. So right now we're in LNAV VNAV, but I have auto throttle disconnected. I am maintaining the aircraft speed right now because when I engage auto throttle right now, I wonder if I go back down here and go to cruise. If I reselect Mach 780 and throw that in there and re-execute it, I wonder if now, if I throw auto throttle on, it's on VNAV now. So now auto throttle seems to be working. Because we're no. Yeah, the auto throttle is not working. Don't throw it back to idle. Let me go and re-engage auto throttle and see what that does. Does nothing. Okay, yeah, so auto throttle's a bit bugged up right now. Noah, bro, I'm not even gonna sit here and argue with you, man. You are way too opinionated about something that is really not that big of a deal. It is a fucking bug that literally a tester in the chat has just said that they are aware of it and they are getting ready to fix it. And you're sitting here complaining when the plane hasn't even been released yet. $120 to invest in a project may be hard for people. I agree with that, CFI. I agree. Like I said, I agree 120 is steep. However, if all variants do come out and it's for both sims too, that's not bad. I think where they failed is not offering just like 500 to like $60 or something like that. Yeah, I could see that. You are arguing though. You are though. Every statement I have made trying to have a constructive conversation with you about this, you have just said the same three things. IXEG didn't do this when it's a completely different company for an entirely different simulator, so IXEG is irrelevant in this situation, to be quite honest with you. And just the continuous complaining about the price point. I understand the price point is steep, right? I've even said that I think the $120 is a bit steep, but it's their business model, right? Either $5 a month, $50 a year, or $120 indefinitely for every variant for both simulators. So, I mean, Mustafa, what's going on, man? Hope you're doing well, mid. Appreciate you stopping in. Welcome, welcome. Long time no talk, Mustafa. Hope you've been well, buddy. I do not think I will be at World Flight this year, unfortunately. Money's just going to be too tight. They are not one day from release, Noah. No, they are not. They have literally said we made the only right decision. I am quoting Alex from CSS. I am quoting him. In this regard, we made the only right decision in such a situation to postpone release until the problem is resolved. That does not mean the plane is releasing tomorrow. Mustafa, my man, appreciate you subbing to the channel. Welcome. W's in the chat for you, brother. How do you make this cool external views? Captain Austin, you just have to press insert on your keyboard. It'll take you to the external drone view. Have them up in the air for World Flight as well this year. Yeah. I'm flying out for the expo next month, and then I get married in August. So money's just going to be entirely too tight, and I'm going to have zero vacation time by the time World Flight comes around. Dude, IXCG's first ever aircraft was a 737 Club. It wasn't ever this expensive. Different sim, different dev. I get it, but this is both devs' first products. Again, IXCG is irrelevant. Irrelevant. That is a developer for X-Plane. We are talking about developers for Microsoft. And again, IXCG was a one-time purchase only. This is a developer who is bringing a subscription-based program to the sim. Again, you can fly this airplane for $5 freaking for 1 month. You are negating that point. You are so focused on the $120 price point, but you are still forgetting $120 for 4 airplanes for 2 different simulators. Let me make that point again. 4 different airplanes for 2 different sims. I don't know how many times I have to repeat that. Does the installer come with malware? No, it does not. Bar for Microsoft quality must be a lot lower than Noah. You are so biased, bro. I'm not gonna address any more comments, dude. I'm really not. No, they're doing it for 2020 and 2024. You do understand they just can't make a fucking plane for 2020 and expect it to work in 2024. Look at PMDG. Look at Phoenix. Real 737-500 is in the mills, $120 ain't bad. Nice. How is this bird? I like it so far, Mexican Aviator. I like it so far. It's definitely got its quirks. There are definitely some bugs that need to be worked out before it's released, but for so far, so good. The biggest issue I'm having with the airplane right now is the auto throttle system. The auto throttle is not wanting to work for me right now for some reason. So... okay, now it's saying FM... so look at that. So I re-engaged VNav with the auto throttle on. It says FMC speed is armed and activated. The magenta line at 280 is right here, but the aircraft goes back to idle. That doesn't make any sense to me. That's definitely a bug that needs to be worked on. The compatibility that Asobo promised didn't really pan out as was advertised. Exactly, Mustafa. Exactly. It did for some sceneries. I will say that. For some sceneries, it works. Not for airplanes. And you know what, Noah, to be quite honest with you, I agree with CFI, man. I really do. If you don't like the plane, you don't want to buy it, that's your MO. I'm kind of done talking about it. If I were to give this aircraft a rating out of 10, so far I'd give it about a 5.5, 6. And that is simply because of the auto throttle. That is definitely a big issue. This needs to be worked on. Sounds and that takeoff config warning. Other than that, I mean, it's flying. The flight model is beautiful, man. This airplane hand flies very well, so I'm looking forward to hand flying it on the approach. What happens when you engage auto throttle with speed Mach hold? If I go to speed, so let me go and disengage. So if I go to speed, let me go and actually put the auto throttle in. If I go to speed, okay, speed's not actually working. So this is the issue that I was dealing with, right? So if I go to speed mode, they told me to go to level change, right? So I have it set to Mach 8.0. However, the throttles are still at idle. The aircraft is slowing down and it's beginning to descend. So MCP speed. I have MCP speed selected. However, the auto throttle system is not engaging. So that's a bit of an issue for me. Yeah, Borders, it's got some quirks, man. There are definitely some things that need to be worked on, in my opinion, prior to release. These things need to be fixed before the plane is released, in my opinion. The aircraft has to have a viable auto throttle system. It has to. Yeah, auto throttle is bugged for sure. So we're just gonna have to keep an eye on that. I got you, Doom. Let's check them out. Sorry, I'm just reading up on some stuff in Discord. All right, IRL aviation photos. Let's check it out. Ooh, nice. All right, have a good flight, CFI. We'll see you when you get home, man. Yeah, Mustafa, the 727 scares the shit out of me. Pearl Jam, I don't understand what you're trying to argue there. Oh, that's pretty cool. Look at that. Yeah, Mustafa. The 727 scares the Ev-11 hell out of me. That's the only aircraft in the simulator that intimidates the hell out of me. That's so cool. Look at that plane going through, man. Nice. F-35 showing off what it's capable of doing. Very cool. Trying to get Owls to try it. Yeah. I've been thinking about it. I might have to spend like a week off stream flying it before I have the balls to try it on stream. Very cool. Very, very cool. All right, well, we are 18 minutes outside of Brussels at our current airspeed. We need to start thinking about descending. We've got about 140 miles until we're in Brussels. Sorry, wife wants to say hello. Soon to be wife. Uh-huh. Stomach is in knots right now. Just don't want to get behind the airplane. Yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense. I feel like that airplane would be a ton of fun, Mustafa, in a shared cockpit mode. Could you imagine having a pilot, co-pilot, and a flight engineer? That would be awesome. Thank you, my love. Real scare plane is the DC-6. Yeah, you won't catch me dead in the DC-6, bro. I'm good. Ruby, want to say hello? No, those are Tums. Those are not treats. Low. Low. Pro Jam, he was saying you don't want to get behind the airplane. You don't. See, and now the aircraft is climbing, which doesn't make any sense to me. It really doesn't. Oh, you can do shared cockpit in the 7.2. Oh my gosh, imagine. You know, I just shouldn't have fucked with the VNAV. Oh, is it compatible with your controls? Interesting. I haven't used your controls in a while because your controls was causing a lot of crash desktops for me. What's the highest score you've given to a plane? Probably the new released Citation CJ3 Plus. I gave that a pretty high score. That was a really fun airplane. So at Kirky, we need to be at 8,000. So I'm going to let the airplane get to its top of descent marker. Once we get to the airplane's top of descent marker, I'll set 8,000, or just before it, I'll set 8,000. I'll re-engage VNAV and auto throttle and see if the aircraft will re-engage its VNAV profile. So in totality, I don't even think it's an auto throttle issue. I think it's more of a VNAV issue paired with the auto throttle, because the auto throttle just doesn't... Actually, no. I think it's both. I think auto throttle and VNAV definitely need to be worked on pretty substantially before this airplane gets released. Those bugs need to be fixed. We'll see how the aircraft descends on its profile, because we have an altitude restriction at Kirky for 8,000 at 220 knots. So we'll have to see. But, yeah, solid 6 out of 10 so far. Definitely needs work. It definitely needs work. Adelis, I am preferably an Airbus guy. I like the Airbus a lot. Like, if I got hired for an airline and I had the choice to choose between the A320 and the 737, I'm going 320. But I'm an aviation enthusiast, man. I like everything with wings and engines. Re-engage auto throttle. That's going back down to idle. Interesting, man. Terrence, what's going on, man? Hope you're doing well, buddy. Appreciate you stopping in. Welcome. I want to see if the auto throttle will recover itself before it gets to a stall speed. Wonder if I go cruise. Let's do Mach 0.75. Let's see if it'll catch it. Execute. Nope. Yeah, auto throttle's really bugged. A320 versus 757, then it becomes a different story. Very true, Boston. Very, very true. What about the FS Labs 321 CEO? Gary, I was not a fan of the FS Labs when it released, but to be quite honest and quite fair with you, I have not flown the airplane since its release, and I know it's been updated pretty substantially since its updates. So, since its release, I should say. So, I'm definitely not opposed to giving it another chance. Nice, Atlas. Nice. Are the middle screens flickering? A little bit. A little bit. I'm not sure if that's true to the real world airplane, but... Diamond Mike, what's going on, brother? Hope you're doing well, man. Appreciate you stopping in. Welcome, welcome. Appreciate it, Diamond Mike. Yeah. Been dealing with some pretty nasty nausea all day, man. I had to call off of work tonight. I almost didn't stream today, but I've canceled like 2 or 3 streams on you guys in the last couple of days, so... What happened to the Southwest ops? Free lethal, there is no Southwest livery available for the airplane right now. Yeah, and the 735 goes all the way up to Mach 8.5. Is that true, guys? Does the 737-500 really go up to Mach 8.5 and then some? I feel like this is not accurate. As now, I could be wrong because the engines are powerful, but I feel like that's not accurate. Looking to fly with yeah, free lethal, unfortunately. We're going to be checking out Vertical Sims Southwest Florida tomorrow. Yeah, I feel like that's inaccurate. Oh, Shaq, I wouldn't say it's completely unrealistic. That's a very open-ended statement. But yeah, that I don't believe is accurate. Doom, my man, coming with a $5 donation, says, hope you feel better. Thanks for streaming for all us, man. I appreciate you, Doom. Thank you, man, for the $5. Massive W's in the chat for you, bro. I appreciate that. Are they releasing with only one livery? No, no. From what I understand, they're going to be releasing with multiple liveries, if I'm not mistaken. For right now, this is the only livery that's available for the pre-release copies. I know they said something about it. I just don't remember when. Appreciate it, Doom. Seeing MMO Mach 8.2 for the 300, 500. Gotcha. Yeah, so, Sean, if you're still in the chat, man, this is a bug as well. And I wonder if that is paired with the auto throttle and VNAV issues. I doubt it. But this airplane is allowing me to take it to like Mach 8.5 and above. So that's a bit of an issue. IXG would never do that. Fucking Christ. You guys in this IXG shit. Comparing an apple to a banana, bro. So we're getting ready to hit top of descent here. Top of descent's in less than 20, so... No, I don't understand where you're coming from, Noah. You are comparing an entirely different company for an entirely different sim to a new company to a newer sim with a different business model. Sure, as the IXCG have better systems, I would not argue that. They probably do. Well, they do. It's not a probably, they do. But from what I remember, the IXCG was not a perfect product either when it first released. Bit of trolling. To be quite honest with you, Shaq, I don't even think the guy's trolling. I think he's being genuine. So the top of descent marker has disappeared. We've got the pink diamond. And the airplane is slowly starting to descend. Firm believer of the First Amendment, and I think this plane deserves a criticism, honestly. Okay, you guys keep citing the First Amendment like I'm sitting here telling you that you're not allowed to express your opinion. All right, well, it's following a VNAV path. which is good. Just the auto throttle, man. Auto throttle and VNAV speed. That's the issue. It's following its path. So far, flight path wise, there has been zero issues. Adeliz, this isn't even close to Latin VFR quality, and I'm not saying that like Latin VFR is better. This aircraft is miles ahead of Latin VFR quality, I can promise you that. Yeah, Pearl Jam, we didn't need to know that, but I appreciate you sharing that information with us. Yeah, Shaq, that's the beautiful thing about it. When it's polished, released, and the bugs are fixed, $5 to fly it for 1 month. And if you don't plan on flying a classic 737 for an additional 6 months after that first month, sweet, you're not obligated to. And it's not sitting in your frickin' sim collecting dust after dropping $120 on it. That's the beautiful thing about the business model. You can buy it for 1 month for $5, fly it as many times as you want in that 1 month, and guess what? When your subscription is done, it's done. You want to come back to the airplane in 6 months? Boom, another $5. No, I don't even feel like you're giving constructive criticism anymore. I just feel like you're talking shit because you're getting a rise out of people now. I just feel like you're trying to get attention from people now. I know Boris personally, and I'm sure he'd love to fix his plane. Yeah, same here, Noah. I don't know the guy personally, but I am partnered with him. I work closely with Boris. So, you never know. Maybe CSS will hire the person. Maybe they will hire the guy. We don't know. But for right now, they didn't. And to be quite honest with you, the sounds are not as bad as people are making out to be. Are they the best? By no means. Do they need work? Sure. Are they the worst I've ever heard? Absolutely not. Go jump into the Leonardo MD-80 with stock sounds and tell me how you feel about that plane. All right, Pearl Jam, your comments are getting relatively inappropriate, my dude. Chill out with the inappropriate comments or you're just gonna get banned. It's not criticism at this point, Noah. You're just talking shit. TFD IMD-11 doesn't even have flap sound. I disagree, Noah. I disagree. When the Leonardo MD-80 first released, that aircraft was full of issues and bugs. So, are we allowed to cuss? I don't care if you guys cuss, just keep it to a minimum. I can't tell you guys not to cuss because I cuss. Just keep it like, don't fucking sit here and just F-word every other frickin' sentence and fuck, fuckity, fuck, fuck, fuck. Don't do all that. But I don't care if you guys can. Yeah, no, I'm not disagreeing with you. This is probably the 5th time of me saying I do agree that the sounds need a little work. They need to be polished, but they're not the worst I've ever heard. Pearl Jam, to be quite honest with you, I don't think you know what you're talking about because you just cited the 5th Amendment and then told me you had to go fart because you were bloated. So, respectfully, I mean... Brett PT6, my man, coming in with a subscription. Appreciate you subbing to the channel. Welcome, welcome. W's in this job for you, man. Whatever you say, Noah. Whatever you say. No, I'm not flying the Mad Dog after this. And on top of that, I have a sound pack installed for the MD80 that I do not feel like uninstalling just to prove a point. Sticks. These are just new people that are tuning in. For $5 a month, I'd fly this plane. It doesn't seem that bad. Plus, it's going to get updates in the future. Yeah, exactly. That's the beautiful thing about their business model, in my opinion. Owls, it needs work. It needs work. I'm having issues with the auto throttle and it capturing VNAV speed, and the auto throttle actually engaging. The aircraft started to descend on its own as well when I was trying to work out the issue. So it definitely, there are some issues that need to be polished before it's released. I've given it a solid 6 out of 10 so far. I think textures can be polished just a little bit, just a hair. The external model is beautiful. I don't think the external model should be touched. I kept getting a takeoff config warning. We sat on the ground in Copenhagen for like 15 minutes trying to figure out why I was getting a config warning when everything was set. So that's something that's going to be reported as well. But flight wise, it's followed its path and it's on a VNAV profile now, just not a speed profile. I'm managing the speed my own. What's been going on? Just, you know how my chat goes, bro. Only when it comes to speed, Mark, not when it comes to the actual descent and climb out. Descent, climb out, and it actually following its flight path has been fine. I've had zero issues with that. It's just been speed. It's just been speed. Same auto throttle issue I've had. Nice. Yeah, Alice, from what I understand, they're aware of it and they're working on it. So we're supposed to be at 8,000 for Kirky. Well, it says 8,000 and above, so I'm going to go ahead and take control of this descent here. I'm going to go ahead and give us about 2,400 feet a minute. We'll go throttles idle. Start getting this aircraft down so we can get ready to fly the ILS. Me and CST been talking to the devs about it since yesterday. Ah, gotcha, Mark. Yeah, so at least they're aware of it. At least they're aware of it. I do think after a couple of updates, this will definitely be a viable airplane to fly. I think it's viable now as long as you can manage the issues that it has. Like managing the speed and stuff like I am right now. I didn't really program the descent correctly, to be quite honest with you. We have a restriction to be at Kirky for 8,000 and above. And we're at 16, so not too much, right? Alrighty, guys, I'm going to take us direct to Navor. It's set up for this ILS here. There are issues with the installer too. There are other two who cannot even download it. Yeah, I'm aware of that. I'm aware of that. Atlas, probably not. This is going to be my final flight, man. I'm kind of worn out. worn out and I'm not feeling the best, so we're just gonna do the one flight today. Not as in worn out from chat or anything like that, just not feeling well. I'm really nauseous right now, so I'm just gonna chill after this. Just gonna get the aircraft landed and we'll call it a day. Might be hanging out in the Discord with some people afterwards, so if you guys want to stop by and say what's up. Why the fuck, Pearl Jam, why the fuck would Boris go to Iran just to get sounds of a 500 737? You two, man, like pee in a pod together, bro. All right, guys, through 10,000, landing lights are coming on. Get the engine start switches over to continuous, get our rest of our lights on. A little bit of a buffer there. So, let's go and look at our charts really quickly. So we need to be at Burris for 2,000. I'm going to go and get the airplane slowed down here. I'm going to put us on a little bit of a delayed vector here. So we need to start getting slowed down here. Got the boards out. I'm going to turn us right to a heading of 150. Kind of extend this a little bit so we can then turn and follow. I'm going to go and keep us going down to, say, 3,000 for right now. Get the airplane slowed down to about 210 knots. Bring the boards in. This plane study level. I don't use the term study level for any airplane at Liz.
Traffic, Scandinavian 101, establish on the localizer 4, runway 01, 11 mile final.
I'm gonna go and pause at the music for right now, guys. We're gonna get ready for this landing here. Definitely tell I'm flying into an Aerosoft airport. Frames are starting to tank just a little bit. Sean, I'm assuming just like any other 737, I need to put this to manual and tune the ILS frequency, correct? Couple grand to go all the way to Iran. It would probably cost that much just to get there. I'm gonna go ahead and put us on a little bit of a base leg here, guys. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and get a notch of flaps out. It's all manual. Why am I getting a flap alert? Why am I getting that horn with flaps 1? That's usually a flaps 15 with no gear horn. Switch it to manual as long as you're in heading. Okay. So 1099. Let's go and arm up the approach. I'm not sure why I'm getting a flap extend alert.
Brussels traffic, Scandinavia 101, short final for runway 01.
Sorry, we'll go gear down. That's fine. No, I have not been to Iran. All right, there's a localizer. Brussels Scandinavian 57 Bravo established on the localizer for runway 1. We're about a 10-mile final. Yeah, the gear warning should only be coming out at flaps 15 if I'm not mistaken, correct, Sean? If I have any knowledge about the 737, like I think I do. Not getting any landing speeds either. Okay, we'll just guesstimate it. All right, here comes the glide slope, guys. I'll estimate about 135 knots as a VRF speed. All right, so we're fully established. So the airplane is flying in ILS pretty well.
Brussels traffic, Scandinavia 101, clear runway 01.
Keep those flaps coming out. I'm gonna go and get the speed brakes armed up as well. Noah, get over the IXEG, bro. Tired of hearing about it, bro. This isn't the IXEG. Just making dumb points, man. Just get over it, my guy. All right, guys, I unfortunately do not have my control cam set up, so yeah, you're all good, Noah. I'm just tired of hearing about the IXCD. We're in a completely different simulator. All right, 1,000 feet, we're stable. I do not have the runway in sight just yet, though. What is the visibility currently? Why would we go around? We're not even at minimums. Our minimums are at 375. All right, I've got the runway. All right, guys, my airplane.
500.
Let's see how we do here. The airplane, I will say, Sean, the flight model is fantastic. I will say. Flight model is really good. The airplane hand flies very, very well. Russell Scandinavian 57 Bravo short final 1. Little high here. We're going to just drop those throttles, lose some altitude.
Minimums.
Landing.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Beauty. All right, we're down. Reversers are coming out. That was a negative 371, really? I didn't feel like a 371. All right, beauty. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Brussels. I feel like a 371. I'll have to see what it looks like in the replay. Felt decent though. The approach, the airplane hand flies beautifully. I really like the flight model a lot. Chandler, he's just yapping, bro. I'm not even gonna pay it any attention. Alright, cleaning up the airplane. Flaps are coming in. Spoilers are stowed. APU is starting up. Let's go and get the pressurization over to ground. Pearl Jam, well, you're no better, bro. Oh, my dumbass. I didn't set the frickin' altimeters. Oops. Flamingo, so far so good. There's some issues with the airplane. No, what, bro? You haven't even flown the fucking thing, bro. I'm getting ready to ban your ass out of this chat, bro. You're just being so ridiculously annoying and trolly for no fucking reason, bro. Over one damn airplane, dude. You don't like it, don't fucking buy it. It's as simple as that. Jesus Christ, dude. Wearing my patience. Mayday, so far so good. Yeah, get this guy the fuck out of here, bro. I'm done. Jesus Christ, the entire stream, man. I was trying so hard to just see if this guy would just be normal. Just be a normal human being, but for fuck's sake, man. Goodness gracious. Mayday, it needs some work. There are some things that need to be worked out. I was getting a takeoff config warning, which I shouldn't have been. VNAV speed and auto throttle is a bit messed up during cruise. And a couple of other things, man. You know, it needs to be polished before release. I'm glad they delayed it because there are some things that really need to be worked on. Yeah, it's all good, Ace. I was just trying not to be that guy. I was just trying to be like, whatever, but it is what it is, man. I'm not fucking concerned about it anymore. Let's get the hell out of here. But all in all, I've given this aircraft a rating of 6 out of 10. The flight model is phenomenal. The flight model is fantastic. I really like how the airplane hand flies. Okay, GSX is bugged the fuck out right now. Okay, whatever. How do you find the textures? I think the cockpit textures could be polished just a little bit. They look a little, in my opinion, just not as high def as I thought they would. Based off of the screenshots I saw on their Discord. But very minimally. Very minimally. But the external is really nice. The external model is very, very nicely done. I like it a lot. Yeah, Sean, I will definitely be sending them a report of what I found and what I think should be improved on. But all in all, so far so good, man. So far so good. I have faith that this project will become very popular. I really do. All right, let's go and shut her down. Yeah, Sean, flight model is phenomenal. I really, really like the flight model a lot. It flies very, very nice. Just minor issues that need to be adjusted, man. Just minor issues. Engine size a bit off. Maybe by the slightest degree, but they do look a little big. But again, the 500 was a little bit of a smaller bird, right? So, well, guys, those that flew along with me today, I do appreciate you guys flying. I'm gonna get this aircraft set up for a replay, and we will go from there, man. I am going to be calling it a day, guys. I am worn the hell out. If you guys have not done so already, please make sure you do smash down that thumbs up button for me. I would greatly, greatly appreciate that. You think the textures in the plane are good? I heard Owl say the others say they weren't great. I don't want to say that they're bad. They're not bad by any means. I've seen worse. They could be polished a little bit. Just a little bit. Just some TLC here and there. I think they're overall so good. The overhead panel looks phenomenal. I think... To be quite honest with you, I think where people are kind of getting their texture opinions about is we are so used to looking at the 737-800 and the MAX to where this entire area of the cockpit's dashboard is just covered in displays, switches, and knobs, and so on and so forth, right? In the classic 737s, there's a lot of open space, right? So I think that's where people are kind of seeing the textures look off. But in my opinion, if you look at the gyro gauges and stuff like that and the actual displays, the texturing is very well done, in my opinion, right? But then you get to this open gray area here where it kind of just looks off-putting, where in the 737s that we're used to flying, you can't see this much gray or this much open area in the airplane, you know? I think that's my opinion on it. I think that's where people are kind of getting their texture opinion, if you would. Adeliz, I wouldn't rate it any of that. I would rate it CSS quality, right? I don't think it's up to... it's definitely better than Bredog Latin VFR M scenery. Is it PMDG quality? It could be. It could be. But I think that's where people are getting their texture opinion. Because, I mean, even the center console looks really good, you know? So I definitely think that there's some things that could be improved on. But I definitely think after, you know, some bug fixes and get that auto throttle and VNAV speed to follow, fix that cruise speed thing, because I programmed Mach 7.8 in the cruise and it would not capture. So, but it flew well. You know, the flight model is beautiful. Sounds could be polished a little bit. They're a bit vacuumy. They're a bit airwashy, if you would. But I don't think they're the worst sounds I've ever heard personally. I think the Leonardo MD-80 sounds default are worse than these. Favorite 737 variant ever created, the 800. Honestly, would like to see a bit more weathering, especially on the throttles, flaps, and various knobs. It looks too clean to be a 40-year-old aircraft. True, Borders, and I'm sure someone would probably come out with a mod for that. No, it's not, Adeliz. No, it's not. For someone that is allegedly a 320 operator in real world, to say the 330 Neo is study level, that's by Latin VFR, is astonishing. But all in all, yeah, I think CSS is on the right track. I think they have a good thing on their hands with this product and the other variants to come. I definitely think they have the potential to be a very, very, very reputable developer. They're a new company and they've got some wrinkles to iron out, man. So, you're kidding? Okay, I was about to say, Adeliz. I was about to say. But it definitely could be a viable aircraft here very, very soon. I'm very happy that they delayed the release because there are some things that need to be fixed before it releases, such as the auto throttle and VNAV speed issue and the takeoff config issue, stuff like that. That stuff needs to be fixed before release. But all in all, I'm happy with it, you know? Okay. Yeah, I'm happy with it. I definitely think this aircraft could become something I would fly on a regular basis, to be quite honest with you. I would, especially when the 400 comes out, because I love the 400 variant. So, let's get these engines restarted, shall we, guys? My stomach is still bugging the fuck out of me. The Circle K? I think so. Will they be making one of the variants with those really, really long engines? Because if so, I might have to purchase it. Flamingo, no, they are not making the 200, unfortunately. Just a 300, 400, 500, and a freighter variant of the 400, if I'm not mistaken. Zach, what's going on, man? Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you stopping in. Go take a poo-poo. No, it's not that kind of nausea. It's like, I feel like I want to, might be too much information, but I feel like I want to throw up kind of nausea. But it's like just that dry nausea where just the feeling doesn't go away. Are they making them or is it not planned? They are. Flamingo, the 300, 400, 400 freighter, and then the 500, obviously. But the 200 is not planned, no. Yeah, there just needs to be some more bass in the sounds, man. Bass in the engine starts and stuff like that. There needs to be... That's what I'm missing here in the sounds, is the bassiness. That's what I'm missing. Exactly, Borders. And that's where I think that that business model will succeed, is in the monthly subscription. I really do. Because for me personally, this isn't an aircraft that I'm going to fly like super, super regularly. But $5 a month, bro, like, I mean, if I wanted to fly a classic 737 for, you know, 5 or 6 days to pay $5, man, I mean, that's the challenge as flight simmers that we deal with all the time, right? It's like, it's an aircraft that we want to fly, but I don't want to justify the price of having to buy it one time, having it indefinitely, and then never flying it again, right? There's so many airplanes that I have in the sim that I don't fly on a regular basis that I spent so much money on, right? So $5 to fly it for a month, I think they got something going for them. I really do. Yeah, they definitely need to... I would really like to see scroll wheel compatibility with these switches. If you want my personal opinion. You're saying exactly what people seem to be unable to understand. Well, Sean, here's the shitty part about the flight sim community. The worst trait about a flight simmer or flight sim enthusiast, especially those that are on the content creation side, is complacency. They get so used to how things go, right? They get so used to how the regular things seem to be. And Sean, another critique I would make, these windows are a bit too foggy for me, personally. I think these windows are just a bit too foggy. I think they need to be cleared up just a little bit. But like I was saying, flight simmers are just too complacent. They're too stuck in their ways, right? They're still stuck in the FS 2004 FSX ways of an airplane gets released, it's a one-time purchase. Scenery gets released, it's a one-time purchase. Blah, 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 blah. They see something new and they want to run from it because they're like, oh, no, I could never do this. I could never do this. You know, I could never be a part of something like this. I could never support something like this. It's like, why the fuck not? You know? So exactly, Mayday. You fly the aircraft twice a year, you pay $10. I mean, fuck. All right, babe. Just get. How's the plane? Boeing Aviation needs some work. But all in all, it's definitely something I will be supporting in its future endeavors. Zemp a 6. I would give it a solid 6 right now. Right, unfortunately, guys, like I said, we have no wing views right now, unfortunately, so we're just going to be doing our external views and our spotter view. We're going to call it a day. This is why I love your content, Mike. You say it how it is. You've been in the community for close to 15 years now, and I've seen add-ons come and go with the same level of hate. Exactly, bro. And that's the thing about flight simmers, too, man, is it does not matter. People don't see the bigger picture, right? They don't see the future in projects and development, right? People forget that these are people that are taking blood, sweat, and tears and throwing it into a project because this is software coding development, man. All these people that are in the chat when I do these pre-release streams like the CJ3, the 350, this aircraft, and all the other aircrafts that I've done pre-release studies for or pre-release streams for, they're just like, oh, it's not perfect. I'm not buying it. Oh my gosh, it doesn't descend. It descends on its own because there's a bug. I'm not buying it. Oh, they're not getting my money. Oh, the sounds suck. Oh, I'm not buying it. You act like these fucking things can't be fixed, right? This is a new company with a new product, right? It's a trial and error period for this company right now, right? Just like any builds in the 350, man. Any builds had so many issues with the 350 when it released, and it's still one of the best aircrafts you have available for the simulator, right? But flight sim enthusiasts and flight simmers will not accept anything less than perfection, which pisses me off about this community. And everything has to be perfect for them to support the project. No, this project is something I will support because I see the bigger picture. I see the future of this project, right? And I'll put it to you this way. Back in my X-Plane days, when I was on X-Plane 11 religiously, I flew nothing but X-Plane 11. Tolis, brand new company. Has never created something for a flight simulator before, right? Came out with a Tolis A319, right? That aircraft on its initial release was one of the worst products I have ever tried to fly. Genuinely. It was terrible. But the beautiful thing about Tolis is Tolis listened to the community. And they said, okay, we understand we didn't deliver on the first product, but here, give us a chance, and let's see what we can do to make this better. And now Tolis is probably one of the most reputable Airbus development companies for X-Plane out there. They're better than Flight Factor, in my opinion, right? Because they listened to the community. And now the Tolis, when I was flying Tolises, man, that's all I flew in X-Plane. I flew the Level Up and the Tolis. That's it, right? And maybe the Flight Factor 7.5 and 7.6 every once in a while. But the Tolis, I flew that thing fucking everywhere, man. Because it got so good. They listened and they made their development roadmap clear. And they said, this is what we're doing, right? It's not perfect right now, but just give us a little bit of time. And when that first update started, when this update started coming out for the 319, man, the aircraft just progressively got better and better and better until it got to its current state, you know? And that's where I feel that flight simmers they just don't have patience. They expect something to be fucking perfect right at release. And now, granted, I can understand where the argument comes of, well, they're asking for our money. I get that, right? It's like, yeah, you don't want to pay money for an unfinished product, right? But at the same time, this is something that can be fixed. It's not like CSS is going to release this in its current state and say, well, here you go, we're not fucking touching it here on. They're going to fail as a company, right? Well, in X-Plane 12, yeah, Mayday, I would agree. The textures in X-Plane 12 are not the best. But in X-Plane 11, the way I had my sim running with all the mods that I was running, bro, my sim looked... But, again, these are just my opinions, right? These guys have been working on this aircraft for years, and it sucks to see people judging so harshly based on a few... Exactly, Sean. And that's where it's just... Flight simmers are just the worst when it comes to criticism, man. They're the worst. Exactly, Sean. Exactly. I expect every airplane I fly on release to have an issue. Right? Exactly, Borders. Exactly. Yeah, it's just the level of toxicity in this community is just ridiculous, man. To the point where I can't even have a constructive conversation with someone in my chat, and by the end of the day, he just gets banned because he's just being a jackass, right? Pearl Jam, I've never had a mullet. Adelis, this is Breedock. Comparing this to Breedock is asinine. This is miles better than Breedock. Said they're redoing the textures. I don't believe so, CFI. I was just giving my opinion. I think it can be a little bit more polished. Exactly, Zach. Exactly. I did, CFI. Textures are being improved as we speak. See? There you go. There you go. They're sitting in a freaking chat complaining about the textures, and they're not even going to the freaking developer saying, hey, I noticed the textures are a bit meh. And the developers will come back, yeah, we're working on them. Cool. That's why the release has been delayed. It's just, it's ridiculous. All right, guys. My throat is starting to give out because I've been talking so much. And I am not feeling well, so I am going to go ahead and get this replay going, shall we? Go and double check Discord really quickly. All right, let's go to replay.
1,500.
It was a negative 371 on this landing, man. It didn't feel like it, but we'll have to see. It really does hand fly very well, guys. I will say it does hand fly very, very well. Exactly, Sean. And I agree with that. That was a 371, really? That didn't seem like it. I really like the flight model. The flight model is really, really nice. I really, really like the flight model of this bird. Flight model of this bird is really, really nice. Let me go ahead and pause this. I'm going to turn the sim down and get some music started up so we can just kind of talk a little bit further. CRJV2 is not a load of crap, Pearl Jam. You're really just talking out of your ass at this point, bro. You've been talking out of your ass since the beginning of this stream, man. The CRJV2 is an incredible, incredible improvement to V1. Why are the wheels flickering? It's probably frame generation. It's probably just frame gen doing its thing. Frame gen and auto FPS, I'd say. What are you using for replays? SEM, I am using Flight Recorder. Flight Recorder, it's on flightsim.to. On the markers, though. On the markers. Yeah, Sean. Let the devs know, kudos to them, the flight model is immaculate. Tell them not to touch the flight model. Yeah, CRJV2 is incredible. The fucking guy is talking out of his ass right now. He's getting ready to join his buddy Noah in band time. I can't wait for it, CFI. Can't wait. Adeliz, you gotta stop. You gotta get that term out of your terminal. You gotta get that term out of your vocabulary. Study level. Take that out of your vocabulary. Is it high fidelity? Yes. The wing flex is awesome, man. I cannot wait to get wing views, man. I'm gonna have to mess around with that. It's on the bars too. Not bad. All right, yeah, you're done, bro. Get the fuck out of my chat. Jesus Christ, dude. Exactly, Zach. I made that point early in the stream, but no one listens. Or at least those two didn't listen. Yeah, take study level out of your vocabulary, Atlas. Use the term high fidelity. Don't use study level. Unless you are in a level D simulator, flying an aircraft used for flying a simulator used for training purposes, study level is not a proper. It's high fidelity. I know, CFI. I know. Yeah, I flared a little early. As you see, I let the nose come down. Yeah. A decent landing. Not bad. Thoughts on the landing, guys? What would you rate that out of 5? What would you give that out of 5? I'd give that probably a 3 out of 5 in my personal opinion. Oh, I bet, Borders. I bet. Exactly, Sean. Exactly. Zach. Nice to see my guy wouldn't take any word from anyone about flight models or weird behavior that aren't type rated on the aircraft. Exactly. Richard, my man, I hope you've been well, dude. I hope you've been well, buddy. And I'm sure work has been keeping you busy, brother. Gary says 1. Respect it. Respect it. Nice. 5 out of 5 for your first. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I flared a little early. You do not need much flare in this airplane. You don't. You do not need a lot of flare in this airplane. Appreciate it, CFI. Thank you. Oh, yeah, I remember that clipboard, as I remember. Not even the study level sim is study level just FY. Exactly, right? You get type rated on a simulator. I got type rated on a 321 before even stepping foot. Well, yeah, I mean that's a level D. That's a level D simulator. Yeah, I flared a little early. I flared right there. You can see it floated, and then it kind of just plopped down a little bit. So I know now that I can flare later in this airplane. Exactly, Zach. Exactly. I'm putting my trust in them, man. CSS has it in their the ball's in their court now, man. We'll see how the release goes, man. If the release is better than what they have right now, and by no means am I saying is it bad. This aircraft, in my opinion, is in a better state than most on release, in my opinion. I like it a lot, man. I'll definitely be flying this bird pretty frequently. Some old school Southwest stops out of Las Vegas. Hello? Yes. My hometown. Go back to my childhood days of the 300 and 500 fucking Southwest airplanes on the tarmac, bro. Yes. Imagine getting type rated on a PC in my office. I put right, bro. I'd have fucking 6 or 7 different type ratings by now. Yeah, I can definitely flare a little later in this plane. Probably around 20 feet. I can probably do the flare. I like it. I want to change the weather up just a bit. This fog is pissing me off. Let's go here. Let's go few clouds. Yeah, there we go. The external model is beautiful. That was amazing. You just said it. Now I can do this. You're like the only flight sim stream I've seen learn from his mistakes and actually point it out and fix it. Well, yeah, true. You know, I appreciate that, Flamingo. Yeah, Zach, I'm eager to see what they say. I'm eager to see what they say at the expo. Exactly. Vegas, that's it. Yeah, I've been here 25 years, man. All right, guys, let's go right to about where we touched down here. Go inside and reset these spoy brakes here. Let's go to camera reset position. Follow mode, lock mode, control spacebar. Does it run in 2024 or not? It's supposed to. I have not tried it. I could tell you right now if it installed in the 2024's community folder. No, it is not in 2024's community folder, so I think you have to install it separately if I'm not mistaken. Look at that. That's a screenshot right there, boys. We'll screenshot that for show. Alrighty, guys. Well, unfortunately, y'all know what time it is for me. It is time for me to start going ahead and getting on out of here. I do appreciate you guys per the usual. Let me go and get all this stuff closed out really quickly. Head over and get that banger of an outro song playing. Turn that sim down here. Lovely. Oh, not currently compatible. Gotcha, Sean. Gotcha. Alrighty, guys. Well, I do appreciate you guys tuning in with me today, and a huge thank you to CSS for providing me with a pre-release copy of this airplane. Guys, I got to tell you, man, I am very optimistic with this project. I got to tell you, I think CSS is on the right track. I think they're going to take the market by storm with their subscription-based purchasing ability. So, well, we'll see how it goes. Like I said, I was pretty critical on the aircraft today. I hope the things that I mentioned get fixed. And we'll see where it goes from here. But all in all, man, I'm happy with it. There's just some bugs that need to be fixed, man, and that's to be expected on a pre-release airplane, right? So flight model's beautiful. The exterior textures are beautiful. Interior, maybe a little bit of work. But the flight model is incredible, man. I really enjoyed hand flying this airplane. So I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm really looking forward to the future of CSS and what they have to offer. So if you guys are enjoying the content, please make sure you do subscribe, leave a comment down below, and hit that notification bell so you get notified of when I'm going live. And most importantly, please make sure you smash down that thumbs up button, as it is completely free to do so, and it helps out the channel tremendously as it pushes my content through the YouTube algorithms out to the rest of the flight sim world and aviation enthusiasts. Really do appreciate y'all and continuing to support the channel, man. We're almost at 2,600 subscribers, man. It's absolutely incredible. Ending out today's stream with 57 likes. Absolutely insane. Do appreciate you. Hit that goal of 50 again. You guys are incredible. But if you guys would like to stay up to date with the channel, please make sure you do join the Discord, ! Discord in chat. Stay up to date with me and any new content, any new products or software or hardware we might be checking out. And we will go from there. Hope you guys stay blessed. Have a great rest of your night. And I will see you guys all in the next one from the virtual flight deck, guys. I'll see you.